Hello everyone, GeckieTheGecko here, and welcome to a new video where I discuss the future of GTG, specifically more on the comics and direction on where GeckieTheGecko as a whole will move forward to. Let's get it! The GTG, short for GeckieTheGecko, is a webcomic and physical series in the making, produced by Scale Blue Comics, where the story of GeckieTheGecko and the Diamond Heroes is told in its own unique way, with character building arcs and spin-offs, all in its own universe. So what's the story? To put it simply, the story will follow Geckie and the Diamond Heroes becoming the best known superhero team in the world. Many world and character building arcs and stories will show the growth of our heroes from beginning to end. The story comes in many paths. There's the base story, which is the main story, and spin-off stories. Certain Diamond Heroes, and even some villains, will get some spin-off comics that follow their own adventures that take place sometime during the main story. So more backgrounds of those characters can be explored. Another thing is that this comic will have its own original story from beginning to end and will not be connected or be a retelling of a story from any of my previous projects. Commonly known, comics have a wide variety in its audience, and we want to do the best we can to provide for comic book readers and more. Throughout the many stories of GTG, there will be a variety of themes and tones taking place. The overall maturity rating for the GTG comics is for all ages, but keep in mind that not all comics will have this rating, as some stories can get more intense and graphic, so be sure to check the mature ratings of each comic, which will be located on the cover of the book. Here's the ratings for what is to be expected in the GTG comics. Hey, you thought I was writing this alone? Wrong! I got a team of writers that are ready to get down to business. We are all excited to share the stories that we want to create. All to you guys. Most of us have worked together in the past when writing these previous projects, and this one will be no different. All of us have many stories and ideas that we want to share, all with you guys, and we still produce new ideas and stories to this day. These writers have plenty of creative freedom to write the many stories they want to make, hence the many tones and themes varying throughout the story. I know I keep saying story a lot, but I'm gonna keep going with it. This is gonna be a very long comic series. How long? Very long. I don't know idea exactly how long, but I know it's gonna be a while. As I previously mentioned, there are so many ideas that we feel shouldn't go to waste and should be given a chance to spark in the vision of many creators. We still come up with new ideas and lore very often. But that's not the only reason why the comics will take a while to finish, but the duration between each comic releasing will be a big factor on why the comics will last a while. As of the recording of this video, the current plan on where you'll be able to read these comics have three of the following options. The first option would be on the Webtoons app, where you'll be able to read the comics for free on your phone or computer on the go. The second option would be through a paywall Patreon, where you could also read the comics on your phone or on the computer. And the third option being ordered online to get physical copies. But Geckie, why would I pay for the comic if I could simply read it on Webtoons for free? I'm glad you asked, impersonation of the viewer that I'm imitating right now. What? Those who subscribe to our Patreon will get exclusive perks that others won't receive. Subscribing to our Patreon will not only allow you to read the comic 2 weeks earlier than the Webtoon readers, but you'll also get shoutouts at the end of each comic issue, early sketch art and model sheets, awesome discounts for the physical GTG comics, and more. Keep in mind that this stuff is subject to change depending on how things go. The first comics will release sometime during the summer later this year. After that, each comic will release a month after each other. Physical and Patreon readers get their comic 2 weeks before the Webtoon readers. Additional graphic novels and spin-off comics will release between the times of each comic too, so be on the lookout for those. It'll be a ton of comics coming. Not only will you guys get comics, but you will also get animated adventures as well that take place sometime during the mainline story. You'll get fun and thrilling animated shorts and episodes alongside the normal comics. You'll even get more animated trailers for big events in the upcoming comics. Note that animation does take a long time to make, so it won't be as frequent as the comics, but we'll do our best to bring you guys the best material. So here's the takeaway. The GTG comics will be a physical and webcomic series which will be available to read on Webtoons, Patreon, and to be determined in an online store, which will have many fantastic stories written by our wonderful writing team. The overall maturity rating for the comics is for all ages, but that can still vary depending on the theme and tone of certain stories. The entire story of the Diamond Heroes will be so long that people will grow and build connections to the characters and stories. The first issues will release sometime in the summer, with the following issues releasing a month after each other, with some extra content stuff somewhere in between releases. It'll be a slow start for our comic series, but once we get into the hang of things, we'll start picking up the pace. So please be patient and be ready for the upcoming Geckie the Gecko comics coming to your store, convenient for you.